You tell him. You tell him I'm coming. Tell him I'm fucking coming.
That's one of my favourite films. That is one of my favourite movies. That's the Limey with Terence Stamp, brilliant actor. That's Jimmy. He's a really good dog as well. No, hello. Today I'd like to take a look at one of my favourite artists, Antoni Gaudi, who's a Spaniard. He just did some awesome bits and bobs. This book, this is I think it's a Polish one. That's the man, and well, he lived from 1852 to 1926, as you can see there. This is a Polish book, so I'd probably not much point in. Well, no, maybe somebody wants to get it from Poland. Sorry, I just discredit everything quickly these days. My brain's not working that well. But I realise that I don't have that many Polish views on this channel. So, so let's flick to the pictures because there's no point in studying through the. So who was he? Well, he was a very, very clever architect, and somebody who really had a talent for a great load of things. You know, very pleasing on the eye, as it were, the things that he created. And well, I lived in Spain, not that long, but I was there a couple of years from. Let me think about it. 2000 and. It reminds me of that old Mark Knopfler song, you know, the Speedway to Nazareth. Back in 2000, I can't remember the lyrics now, but whatever. But no, anyway, I'm going off the track. But very clever artist, and I lived in Spain, and that's two stuck together, isn't it? It must be. It is. It's two stuck together. It is. So that looks like one of his. What does it say? Yeah, he built that place in 1883, from 1883 to 1885. So very talented architect, and he was most famous for these sorts of things like I've got here. I mean, this isn't an original Gaudi piece. Obviously, if it was, it wouldn't be with me, would it? It'd be in a museum somewhere. But that's a sort of Gaudi copy of an ashtray. So. Really interesting piece of art, I think, anyway. And these are other ashtrays that I used to smoke, of course, back in the bad old days. And this is Gaudi's work of art. These are typical Spanish ashtrays. This one from Barcelona. And what they used to do is they used to fill these with a little bit of water, and so you could, you'd sort of you could lay your cigarette on the top when you were eating, because it's Spanish. Actually eat whilst they're smoking, or smoke while they're eating even. Very strange. But they smoke, they sort of have a bite to eat, and then they take a cigarette and smoke, you know. They used to smoke in the banks, they used to smoke in food outlets even. Didn't seem to bother them. Well, back in the day anyway, maybe that's all changed now, but I don't know. But this is the famous cathedral that's in Barcelona. The Sagrada Familia, and well, it's currently undergoing built. It's being built even now. It'll take, you know, I won't see it finished, but in my lifetime, that's a fact. And nor will many other youngsters of today. But it's going to take a long time, and I presume it's going to be covered in tiles in the end, coloured tiles. I think that's the plan anyway. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but no, he had a major influence on Barcelona. Barcelona is a lovely place to be. I never lived there. I lived in Alicante, in southern Spain, and very hot, very beautiful. These are typical sort of Gaudi structures, you know, with the tiles and everything. Beautiful, lovely, beautiful. Really lovely. And of course, tiles dissipate heat as well, which is good because you need that in Spain. It's the only place I've ever felt threatened. I've felt my life threatened in Spain, not by the Spanish because they're lovely people, but by the heat. The heat is. I've literally seen, and I wouldn't lie to you. I don't do lies, but I've literally seen pigeons just drop dead out of trees in Spain. It was so hot they couldn't handle it, and they just dropped dead out of the heat stroke. Terrible. But yeah, it happens. So, you know, Casa el Caprijo, which is that one, isn't it? El Capriccio even, I don't know. You see, the trouble with languages is that when you don't speak them for a long time and you speak another one, I mean, I currently speak in Polish all the time, so obviously everything, my consonants and vowels are all based around, you know, sort of, you know, they're not A, E, I, O, U, they're A, E, I, O, U, you know, and so when you kind of start grunting like that, you lose track of what the original Latin-based languages were. Obviously, Polish is a Silesian language. It's based around Silesian, not Latin. So it's difficult to remember. Anyway, ranting on. But I love all this sort of stuff. I often pore through this book. Yeah, lovely bit of work. This, in actual fact, some awesome photos. I better get on with it. And then Palazzo Guel, I think they said Palazzo Guel, you know. So he has a pretty much wide repertoire of things that he created in his life. That's awesome. Wow. That portal, that gate. It's really, really good. I love it. Oh, I love things like that. I mean, this is amazing. Where the light beams in. Ah. I mean, how you even think this kind of stuff up? I couldn't. I mean, you know, I could smoke 10 joints and drop a tab of acid and I still wouldn't be able to come up with stuff like that. But I'd just probably end up vomiting in the toilet, you know. How familiar. No. I actually had a sink installed in my toilet. So that, you know, if you've got the trots really bad. In fact, I know, you know, I as I say, I don't do lies. If you actually look, it's perfect. It's an absolute gem of a toilet for someone like me, because basically what you can do, you see, is if you're on the bog, right? So imagine you're sat on the bog, and it's coming around at both ends. You know, there's the sink. You can just into the sink. Flush it down, you know what I mean, and you can crap into the toilet at the same time. And well, there you go. You see, it's all that's my architectural design. You know, I mean, it does make sense for someone like me to have a thing like that. I'm bloody joking. They were in there when I came. I don't know why they did that. You can hardly get in the bloody toilet. It's so small. But back to the chase. The Casa Calvet. Yeah, that's nice. I like that very much. Very pretty with the balconies and everything. I like things like that. Although I never go out on them, in case they'll crack, you know. I've got this image in my mind of going out on one of these balconies, sort of fat boy like me, and it just cracks off the wall and down I go, sort of thing. Some lovely, lovely, lovely architectural structures here. Wow, really unbelievable. Yeah, love it, love it, love it. Crack on a bit. Smashing. I love these elements, these tiled elements. And of course, in Barcelona, it's in Catalonia, I think, and they speak Catalan. See, Spanish is a strange. Spain is a strange place because they don't speak Spanish. They have their individual languages, like El País Vasco, Donostia, or San Sebastián in Spanish. They speak Basque, which is one of the oldest languages in the world. I used to know a girl called Charo, and her name was spelled T-X-A-R-O, and it's pronounced Charo. She was a lovely girl and a really, really gentle person. And she wasn't my girl. She was a friend of mine. She wasn't a girlfriend in the sense that we were going out together. She was just a friend. But she was one of the loveliest people I've ever met. And she spoke Basque. And when you hear it spoken, it's a very, 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 very interesting language to hear. I can tell you, I can't speak it. That's why otherwise I'd demonstrate. But I can speak a bit of Spanish. Well, I used to be able to speak it nearly fluently, but I've lost it over the time. But look at these portals, aren't they beautiful? Aren't they wonderful? I remember the first thing I learned was, when I was learning Spanish, it was 1999, and in Spanish that's 1999. So it's 1999. 1999, so something like that. I can't remember now. As I say, my brain's going dead anyway. The bloody thing left the building. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I'd love a casa like that. I really would. Let's move on to the bit further on. Look at this. Look at this lizard coming out of the pond. Or a frog or a toad, is it? Or something. Double-headed frog, is it? I don't even know what it is. It's gorgeous. I miss this about Spain, the shadow and light, the strong light. The Romans called Alicante Licentum, which means the city of light. And it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. It really was something special. I loved living there. I was only there a couple of years, I think. But wow, was it a couple of good years of good fun. And one of my ex-girlfriends, in fact I was engaged to her for a while, until we weren't. But she was from Spain, and well, she was lovely. El chica, the girl, she was and she taught me a lot of Spanish as well, which was nice. In my past, I've always been out with, I never really went out with English girls, to be honest with you, that much. I sort of tried one, didn't like it sort of thing, and went off with Mediterranean women. I always found them more attractive. I don't know why. Probably because they found me attractive. I know it sounds arrogant, but I don't think I've ever asked anybody out in their life. I just sort of went along with what was what was going on at the time. But yeah, no, I fancied a lot of girls in my day, but never had the courage to ask them. So nah, just the ones that asked me. It's true, isn't it, Jimmy? It's true. It is true, mate. Oh wow, look at that. That's gorgeous. It looks like what an awesome bit of wood. And that's the entire plan of the building. Yeah, he must have made a fortune these days. Look at that! Wow, isn't that interesting? As a fireplace, my goodness me! And you can sit there, an inglenook fireplace. Back in the old days, the knights used to just wash in because they were so, well, it was their culture. They used to just wash in their underpants, and they washed them as well at the same time. They used to just sit in front of the fire and dry out. Sort of never took the things off for 10 years, sort of thing, Yeah. Casa mia. Mi casa es tu casa. My house is your house, isn't it? That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm not sure I like it that much because it's very dullard, but it's an interesting form. Let's put it that way. Things that forms. I like forms. That's interesting. This is interesting. Although again, it's dull, but it's not dull because it's got all these forms on it. See, it's an eye full of imagery. That's actually quite spooky. That looks like some sort of ghostly thing coming up behind somebody. Very clever bloke. And as I say, this cathedral is going to be going on for a while yet. I'd love to be alive. Well, no, would I? I don't know. Well, I'd like to stay the same age and be alive to see it finished. I don't think I'd just want to get 250 years old sort of thing, like Blackwood, lurking about in the shadows sort of thing. No, I'm not sure I would be bothered with that. But no, it's going on. This book's not new either. So there you go. Well, that's it for this. It's getting right. All these videos start ranting on, don't they? Ranting on like an old twat. And well, I hope you found it of some interest. My interest in the artist and architect Gaudi, Antoni Gaudi. Yeah, cool. Thanks ever so much for watching. Turd stamp.